All right, welcome back to the Dignity Health Arizona Cardinals Training Center. It is Wolf and Luke, and we are joined, as we are every Big Red Monday, by Cardinals head coach Kliff Kingsbury. Coach, thanks for the time. I'm going to start positive here, and I know there's no moral victories at this point, but you did just play the only undefeated team in football close. We'll get into the ending here in a second, but do you take anything away from what your defense has done now the last 4 weeks?
I've been really impressed. You turn on that tape or you watch it as a layperson, and you can't help but notice just how fast our bodies are moving out there. I mean, we're flying around, playing with great intensity, great physicality, just great effort across the board on defense. And then the second half adjustments have been tremendous by our defensive coaching staff, Vance Joseph and that group, to come out in all 4 of those games and really, shut teams down in the second half. You can't say enough about them.
I've been in a foul mood all morning, Kliff. All right. Just telling you right now, angry because of the opportunity that was missed right there. What did you say to the guys after the game, Kliff?
Yeah, it's just kind of what you said. I mean, I didn't have to say much. Buddha had some really good words. He's an emotional player, passionate player, and he kind of took the floor and said what was on his heart, and that's really all that needed to be said. But we know where we have to get better. It's not physicality, it's not effort, it's taking pride in the details, and that shows up in the losses we've had and even the wins, getting ourselves behind in these games and coming from behind. It's not sustainable in this league, and we understand that, and it's time to change it.
How similar is that offense that Philadelphia is running to what you guys tend to run?
There's some components that are similar. I think Jalen, like I said, I think the decision making of when to throw it, when to tuck it, and use his legs. He's elite at that, and he's a big physical player and runs downhill and just makes plays when they have to be made. I can't say enough good things about him and how he handled himself and has so far this year.
Just watching him on tape, it was amazing to me how similar their offense is. Did Nick Sirianni, did you have a conversation with him at all? Do you know him, Kliff?
I don't, not well, but seems like a sharp guy. I have a lot of respect for what he's done there, and I think anytime a coach can come in and build an offense around a player and play to his strengths and do things that he does well and find ways to be successful with the skill group they have, that's a credit to them and their coaching staff, and they've really nailed it with what they got going right now.
Talking to Cardinals head coach Kliff Kingsbury, okay, the last drive of this game, I want to start with the Jalen Thompson play because that part is just bad luck. But I mean, how much did that offset what you were able to do in the final 2 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think it did too much. I think that's kind of a interesting rule that the clock can be stopped on an incomplete pass and you still get a timeout charged to the team that is playing defense, but that's for another discussion. But no, we had plenty of time. I thought we were really efficient going down the field. Had some shots that we didn't connect on that I thought we could have, but there at the end it just ran out of time on us, unfortunately. But we, a minute 45 in this league with the talent we have, there was plenty of time to go in there and get it done.
With Kyler in the slide, is there anything mechanically you would clean up, Kliff? Anything that you can learn from and actually move on from this point? It just seemed like a weird series of events and unfortunate events, but is there anything you could clean up on this?
Yeah, I think just situationally, understand the situation. If you got to go head first in that situation to get it, go head first. And then, on the sideline when it's that close and you're yelling clock, 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 and you think he's got it, and all of a sudden they walk it back, you're kind of past the point of no return, and we had to live with it at that point. But after discussing it, if it was third down, I'm not sure we would have done much different at that point. If we would have known that, maybe slow clocked it and took in some more time. If it was first down, obviously you have a chance to take a shot, but a lot can happen on that third down and the clock runs out, you get tackled in bounds, any of those things. So it was right on the border there.
Yeah, sort of along those lines, not to throw anybody under the bus, but at the end of all of that, you guys weren't playing for the field goal, but to have a 43-yard attempt, all things considered, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kick that you want to be able to make, and it was unfortunate we didn't. And it's tough for a new guy coming in and new holder, all those things. That's part of the game. You don't want to put it on one play, and that's what we talked about as a team as well. There were plenty of plays to be made. It didn't just come down to that kick. Once again, got down 14-0 and just got to stop putting ourselves in those holes.
So what part of this offense do you think needs to be fixed, Kliff?
Yeah, I just think consistency early. I mean, that's been it. I think we're second in the league in scoring in the second half, something like that. So it's a deal where we had this feel-out period for whatever in the first, I don't know, 20 minutes, and then it's like, all right, here we go. And you can't do that in this league. You get behind like that, and you're not dictating the terms anymore. And so more than anything, just the focus and execution early on in the games.
Talking to Cardinals head coach Kliff Kingsbury, Coach, it seemed this way, at least from the outside. It seemed like this loss kind of hit guys a little bit differently. Did you notice a different? I know you said Buddha addressed the team afterwards.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think when you play that hard and you know it's a really good team and you know it's that type of an electric kind of adverse atmosphere in your own building, and there's a lot that goes into it that we wanted to win that game and didn't get it done in that fashion. It definitely stings, but we faced a lot of adversity so far this season, and we got to learn from it, grow from it, and hopefully it pays off down the road.
You know what's amazing about it is you look at your offense and you could be discouraged because the offense hasn't performed the way that it did last year, especially the first 12 weeks of the season. Then you look at the defense, and the defense seems to be overachieving right now. So overall, Kliff, are you encouraged or discouraged at 2-3?
I've been very encouraged with the team overall since training camp. Like I said, the effort and physicality has been outstanding, and those are things you can't coach. The other stuff's correctable, and I think offensively it's going to come. We don't have a lot of time on task, and didn't play much in the preseason training camp, and we've gotten better. I think you add another piece in there, we get a chance to really be explosive, and we'll see where that goes.
Hollywood Brown seems to be taking steps forward each week. He's had a few really good games in a row now. Is this about what you guys expected? Because he's coming in on a new team, but he already had that chemistry with Kyler.
Yeah, he has the chemistry. It's still early. I mean, you still like to get him out there more and practice together more and play more, and I think he'll feel more comfortable in the system, and you'll see even more positive results. But a guy who continues to show up, he loves to play, wants to be on the field on every snap, and you definitely appreciate that.
So I'm not asking for a grade, Kliff. I'm not asking for that. But when you watch Kyler, you watch him on tape, it seems like he is struggling a little bit early on in games. Is it just him? What do you make of this? Because he seems to get better as the game goes on. Why do you think that is, Kliff?
Yeah, I think it's all of us. I think it's collective. Like I said, I've never been a part of a team at any level where it's first 5 games, it's just you're 3 and out and can't score in the first quarter, and for whatever reason, it's just like not clicking. And that's something we all have to work harder at and get better at. So I don't think it just falls on him. I think it's play calling, scheme, execution by all 11 guys. It's just a thing we got to get over.
Everybody's waiting for DeAndre Hopkins to come back, and you're at a point where you may very well be 3-3 when he does come back. But, you know, from your perspective, what specifically is it about him that all of a sudden could open the offense back up?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most dynamic playmakers in the league and has been for a long time. You pay a guy that type of money, you have a true number one wideout. I mean, that's a big part of your offense. You can look at these teams when they lose their number one guy, how it goes, and teams have to know where he's at all times. We've really got some good complementary pieces now that we feel like we can do some good things around him. And when he's been on the field for the Cardinals, we've been really good on offense. So I'm hoping that continues.
How is the health of the team right now, Kliff?
Better than it's been. I think we got some of those guys coming back. Hopefully Cody Ford will get back. Hamilton will play more and more. Got to get Trayvon back out there in the secondary. And then hopefully Rodney Hudson and Prater can come back here soon. But the back situation is tough. Never seen 3 running backs go out in one game. Yeah. So that's something we got to address. But other than that, I think guys are doing pretty well.
You know, sticking with the running backs, I know we talked about Eno Benjamin a lot, but he keeps doing new stuff. I mean, just what does he bring your team, not just on the field, but mentality-wise?
Yeah, he's continued to just impress and improve, and can't say enough good things about what he did yesterday. I mean, he's cramping up the whole second half. Everybody else is hurt, so he knows he has to go. So he's out there barely able to walk and finds a way to get in the end zone and make some big plays. And just his teammates have really been proud of how he's grown over the last couple of years and then the effort he's shown on Sundays.
How big of a loss is it for Antoine Wesley?
It's big. I mean, there was definitely a comfort level there with Kyler and him, and he's a great deep ball, high point type receiver that was a real red zone weapon for us. So that was tough. He not afraid to do the dirty work in there either, and just really unfortunate that he got injured again. I
know you probably haven't got to jump into it yet, but Seattle obviously looks a lot different this year than they have for the last decade.
Yeah, they do. Really impressed with Geno Smith. I mean, to have the opportunity he has and the way he's playing is is cool to see as a guy who bounced around some different teams. And Pete always has them ready to go. I think they get some young players on defense that are ascending and getting better. And it's a wide open division. They're right there with everybody else and scoring a bunch of points right now.
Do you know if Pete is still playing cover 3? Do you have any idea about that, Kliff?
Yeah, he will definitely be in some cover 3. He likes that, but it's just whatever pieces he gets in there, they play hard. They have great energy, and he's one of the best to ever do it.
Coach, we appreciate the time as always. Good luck in Seattle.
Thank y'all.